unique, but at the same time, like, I have to be comfortable wearing it. So I think we kind of like, you kind of take what you know you're comfortable in. Like, obviously I play in a lot of Kobe's, but at the same time, I don't want it to be a Kobe. I want it to be something very unique to me and a little bit different. And I think for myself, like, you know, I kind of think about like what's kind of been important to me when I think about like shoes or sneakers. And I think like just the chaseability of them, and like you want a certain sneaker or like you want a certain colorway. So I think that's like going to be probably the most fun part. Like, okay, great. Like you have like.
There were no leaks, rumors, or warning signals, and nobody anticipated this. Then, according to some stories, Caitlin Clark unexpectedly gave Sophie Cunningham access to a $25 million Nike agreement, which caused the sports media to freeze. Not a theory, not a rumor. Players, fans, and league insiders were all taken aback by this surprise move, and the haters utterly melted down in response. According to reports, WNBA executives became quiet, and one concern was raised online. How did Caitlin Clark alter the course of the game without uttering a word? This is a deeper, dirtier, and more potent narrative, so stay till the very end.
Says Caitlin Clark's anticipated Nike signature shoe is expected to launch in spring 2026. Nike's signature roster features all-time greats, and I am incredibly proud to join some of the best athletes in the world. I'm excited to share a first look at what we've created together. Y'all should have did this. We're going into year 3. Y'all should have did this year 1.
You must comprehend Caitlin Clark's perspective in order to comprehend why this event is significant. She wasn't a rookie when she joined the WNBA. She came in as a source of tension. Ratings trailed behind her. Sponsors trailed behind her. Nike trailed behind her. Every action she took was significant. Furthermore, insiders claim that Nike wasn't merely placing a wager on a player. They were placing a wager on a generation's face. But this is the crucial information that most people overlook. Caitlin Clark never gave the impression that she was the only person at the top. She observed who took blows with her, who stood by her side, and who remained unflinching when things went ugly. And one name kept coming up. Cunningham. Sophie. Sophie Cunningham was never one to keep quiet. She engaged in play with edge. She said, with fire. She became controversial because she didn't apologize for her intensity. While some admirers detested her, others adored her. However, insiders claim that Caitlin noticed something more profound. She witnessed someone who was prepared to defend colleagues, someone who could withstand hatred, and someone who persevered under duress. According to reports, Caitlin held it in high regard, privately, not in front of the cameras. And that respect became action as Caitlin's Nike influence increased. This is where things start to get serious.
It's crazy. I mean, like when I first saw that online, I was like, oh, that's like gotta be fake news. Like, cause there's so much fake news out there these days.
It was definitely an AI clip in my mind, or I was just like, there's no way he's really about this. What? Somebody's being funny. And then it was.
And they should have won the first game he played in at Seattle.
They were winning when he walked off the field.
Yeah, they made the kick, the long field goal. I turned the game off actually because I was watching the game. I was like, oh, that's great. Like he won, like cool. But what do you know?
Sources familiar with brand talks claim that Caitlin Clark's Nike contract was substantial. It wasn't temporary. Shoes weren't the only thing. It was long-term branding power, future partnerships, and infrastructure efforts. According to sources, Caitlin did something that is practically unheard of. She utilized her influence to open doors rather than to demand more money. According to sources, Caitlin directly promoted Sophie Cunningham's name, emphasizing her toughness, sincerity, and marketability. Nike paid attention because people pay attention when Caitlin Clark talks in those settings.
Well, what can't she do? Caitlin Clark is now a Nike basketball signature athlete.
Yeah, the WNBA superstar is unveiling her very own logo. Take a look at this. I want it. Whatever it is, I want it. It's 2 interlocking C's designed to reflect her confidence, power, and connection to fans. She is an elite company. Only a handful of other players in history, like Michael Jordan, LeBron James, have had their own Nike line. The first t-shirts featuring the logo go on sale.
The response was immediate upon learning of Sophie Cunningham's alleged $25 million Nike involvement. The players were taken aback. The media was perplexed. Haters become uncontrollable. How did she obtain this? This is unfair. This is partiality. However, Insiders quietly retaliated. This wasn't favoritism, they claimed. This was a tactic. Sophie was more than just an athlete to Nike. They observed a story. They perceived difference. They observed chemistry. Fans could relate to what they saw. Caitlin Clark also contributed to the realization of that idea. Social media took off. The comment sections became poisonous. Timelines were overflowing with hot takes. However, this is what infuriated many more than the actual agreement. They were powerless to stop it. No damage, no reversal, and no suspension control due to Nike's non-league of motion operations. Additionally, there were no tweets, interviews, or victory laps by Caitlin Clark. Critics were driven nuts by the silence. What stunned fans even more? The WNBA's response, or lack thereof. There was no grand celebration, no formal commendation, no increased advertising, just silence. Additionally, sources claim that the silence wasn't coincidental because this particular time symbolized something uncomfortable.
I'm getting me a pair. I don't care what I gotta do. I don't care if I gotta sleep outside the mall for a day. I'm getting me a pair of Caitlin Clark shoes. I missed out on all the PEs. When the real deal come out, I'm getting my pair. And if you wear my size, don't let me see you. And I don't have, no, I'm just playing. But no, that's incredible. Then they gave out these, here it says Nike sent out Caitlin Clark from Anywhere promo packs. This is kind of hard too. See, man, I don't know how am I not on this list of people? Come on, CC, man. We got to talk, man. We got to break bread and figure this out. This is nuts. Don't open me till Christmas. That's fire. Wow. Let me see what this one is.
Without the league's consent, a player is creating enormous opportunities, controlling her own orbit while continuing to play and compete. Institutions are uneasy about that change. Then the murmurs started. Not official, not verified, but loud enough. Industry insiders started discussing Nike's long-term goals for women's basketball. There are rumors that this strategy would eventually go into billion-dollar territory. A movement, not a single transaction. Caitlin Clark is in the middle. She was no longer alone, though. People were shaken by that. There was more to this than just money. Power was at issue. Stars elevating stars, players encouraging one another, and influence being shared rather than hoarded. That poses a risk to the outdated system since once players learn they don't wait, the regulations are subject to change. Caitlin Clark made no announcements. Sophie Cunningham refrained from boasting. They simply continued to play. And sometimes the statement you never explain is the strongest. It is now your turn to ask the inquiry. Was this loyalty, leadership, or the start of an uncontrollable new age for the WNBA? Leave a comment with your ideas. This narrative is only going to get bigger, so please subscribe if you appreciate the move.